I want this to be proof, unequivocally, right here, right now, on this YouTube channel, for the whole world to see, that because of this video, I am literally capable of counting to 4. That's important. I don't think there was any proof of that before today. Go.
What have I done?
Hello, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I actually managed to do another episode of these, and for some reason I decided to constantly do it outside when the world is exploding. Let's play some more Slay the Spire. There has been some updates since last time, which include another game mode, which is the daily. They've also seemingly not added a new character yet, but they've added ascension levels, which generally speaking I like doing. In roguelikes, I generally prefer to do the harder difficulties because more of a challenge. You learn to do it on hard mode, then you're much better, easier, capable of doing it on the lower mode. So here we go. I've also unlocked everything that's currently available since the last time we played. So yeah, I should have a lot more options. Let's do, for the first one of this current recording session, let's do some Ironclad. I enjoy Ironclad. Another try. So, remove a card from your deck, obtain 100 gold, obtain a curse, but get a rare card. Lose your starting relic, obtain a random boss relic. Now, if that's an option for the other character, the Silent, that's worth taking. But not for this one, the Sustain is too good. Obtain a curse, choose a rare card. Funny thing, the balancing of this game I found is not stellar, to the point of the rare cards are usually not worth it. So it looks like I'm either removing a card, which will probably be a defend at this point, or 100 gold. So I'll take the 100 gold. That gives me an option. Now I could have looked at the map beforehand, just to look at the layout, see if there's any shops in the way, but I didn't do that because that's not very smart. But let's go for... So we go here, got a couple of events, a couple of fights, then an event. Here we go. This is a good place to go because you've got a bonfire, then you've got an elite, then you've got another bonfire, so it's relatively safe. Then afterwards I can go into a shop and then another elite if I want to. So let's head for there. And let's go here, and then we can head up through that question mark to the left and then back up to the right. Now the real reason I don't take Bash off of the table in the early game is because it is actually useful in this super early game. I think I said in a previous episode that it's never good, but it is. It's only good once you don't have better alternatives. The reason why it's bad is because even if you upgrade it, it still only does 10 damage. Whereas for the exact same amount of energy, 2 unupgraded strikes do more damage. The advantage of Bash is it gives vulnerable, and upgrade gives 3 vulnerable. The thing is, you don't need to do multiple vulnerables if that's the case. Once you have other vulnerables in your deck, Bash becomes useless. And as proven there, if I'd done a Bash and 1 strike, I wouldn't have killed him. Oof, Thunderclap. Now, I always take Thunderclaps if it's an option because it's AoE damage and it gives vulnerable. It's really good. Only ever gives 1 vulnerable, so you do have to stack those vulnerables, but it is really good. These other 2, in my opinion, aren't worth it. I've played with them a lot. Only gaining 3 block. I believe that goes up to 5 block if you upgrade it, but it's still not very good. Like, it's just not. And honestly, I'd rather spend the energy on the Thunderclap. Moving on up. Okay. Classic example of what I'm saying right now. I could do a Thunderclap. It would put vulnerable on both of them. And 4 damage. Then I would have the option of doing 2 more strikes, which is an additional 12 damage to that one character. Whereas if I did this, it'd do 8 damage. And then I'd have the option of doing another 6. Meaning that it would actually come out to slightly less. Vulnerable is just such a good mechanic with the Ironclad that you really need to know which ones are worth using and which ones aren't. So because of that, I managed to remove all of that damage from the board in 1 turn. Since I last recorded this, my knowledge of this game has risen dramatically. Dramatically so. To the point of I now know what the best cards to go for, and I also know when I'm screwed. For example, this is not, none of these cards are worth taking. Gaining a vulnerable and dealing 9 damage sounds really good because it's only one vulnerable, but there are so many things in the game which give you vulnerable that you're just going to be adding to the pile, and it's just not worth it, especially considering that's the majority of most boss mechanics. They give you vulnerable and then they hit you for like 20 damage. So that's not worth it. That's just not worth the cost. Yes, it's more powerful than Strike, but Strikes have other better options. And W current block is only good if you are going a block heavy deck, and even if you are, it still costs 2. Not worth it. Most of those are not worth it. So if I go through this event here, and then up to these 2 fights, this is where I just get to take one event at least. You like to have a good mixture of those in the early game and kill as many elites as possible. Upgrade 2 Iron cards, lose 16 HP. I'll take that. 2 strikes. Not ideal. Would have rather upgraded the Thunderclap, but I'll live. Especially because in the early game, again, upgraded strikes are pretty nice. There you go. Okay, so he's not actually attacking me this turn, and I can just about kill him. Because that applies vulnerable, and that's which puts that back to normal damage. Just about. Okay, oh no, this is actually a tough call. All of these are decent cards. I'd say the easiest one to say no to is the Inflame. While it is permanent buffs, it's it's slow. Like, you have to buff now and potentially actually use it next turn. Now the tough ones here are Flex, because it just gives you a significant buff on one turn, and Offering, which is draw power. I'm going to have to go with Offering because it is just so much better. But that sucks. Like, it sucks to have to choose. Okay, let's... I've had quite a lot of fights. I've had 3 fights. Let's take another event. And then I'll go to the right to the bonfire. Gain 100 gold, gain 250 gold, but get a curse. It's not really... Considering the amount of gold I have, it's not really worth going for the 250. Like, I'd rather not have the curse cluttering up my deck in the early game. Now, the important thing is, I came here because I'd have the option to heal. But the important thing is that you come here and upgrade. Now, one thing I have noticed, upgrading Offering, not a good idea. You don't need it. The only thing you get is 2 extra cards, which is great and all, but realistically, you just don't need it. So, either I'm going to upgrade Thunderclap, which just upgrades its damage, or I'm going to upgrade Bash. Now, in this stage of the game, Bash is still worth it, although I might still take it out of the deck later. Because now it makes it more worth its mana cost, energy cost, whatever. I'm going to keep doing that. And then I immediately get a fight where it's basically useless. Okay, it's actually not as useless as I gave credit for, because that gets rid of all of their immunities on their artifact. And then, well, rather than actually use the Bash this turn, I'm just going to do, again, 2 strikes, because it does more damage. These ones you kind of want to blitz down as much as possible. You need to know when to apply effects and when to just go for it. These ones are very much the just go for it type of elite. Okay, here's the Offering. So we do that. Gives me 2 extra energy and 3 extra cards. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't any more attack cards. So I'm just going to be doing a ton of defense. That's not really a problem, considering I've got 16 damage coming at my face. Also, I got a Dazed out of it. And that's good, because that's got Ethereal, which makes it disappear at the end of the turn, which gets it out of the deck. So first things first, let's smack at that guy, and then we'll use the rest of that on defending. Which means I'm only going to take 1 damage this turn. If I had 1 more strike, that would have been useful, because I would have just killed that guy, but, ow. RNG is random. Random is random. Okay, cool, so, more group damage, and a vulnerable and everything. So kill that guy, and then we can do a chunk of damage to that guy, and then move on. Now this, I'm about to take 8 damage, which is unavoidable, but it's fine, because we've got a bonfire right after this. This is the kind of mentality that now I can now put into this game, with enough practice. Okay, so now we've got a bit of a energy issue, amount of energy issue, because we've got they've got the expensive Bash. However, we can't afford 3 things anyway, so we might as well go for the somewhat expensive Bash, and then just kill him. And then get rid of 2 more Dazed cards. So this guy's on the ropes. We've basically won. I happen to know for a fact that this guy has nothing that can just straight up kill me. Downside is I can't straight up kill him this turn either. So vulnerable, strike, and defend because I had nothing else to do. Should be able to kill him this turn. Unless I get ridiculously unlucky with my draws. I should be able to get... Yeah, I got him. I mean, it came close. I can only just about kill him. He would have had 1 health if I hadn't done that second strike. Okay, so Pen Nib is one of my favorite relics in the game. Every 10th attack, deal double damage. So if you pay attention to that and you time it well enough, you can potentially get like a 50 damage perfected strike, hit someone for like 100 damage. It's pretty nice. And I was hoping to get the perfected strike, but there is the flex that I didn't get last time. Nice. Now I'm down to just over half health, like 2/3 health ish. So may as well rest. There is no point running around with low health unless for some reason you need to, or you've just been shafted, because the game likes doing that. Like saying, oh, by the way, here's 20 damage over and over and over, and there's fuck all you can do about it. Like, great. By the way, this is one of the worst relics in the game, in my opinion. It needs some serious balancing. The reason I was just going to not talk about it, I was just going to take it and move on, because there's no downside to it, apart from the fact that it takes up, you know, space in a chest. But at the end of the turn, lose 15 block rather than all of it. Do you know how hard it is to build up 15 block and then have them not remove some of it? The only way that works is for decks which go like balls to the wall block. Like, nothing but defensive, and you just try to outlast your opponents. Like, that's it. So it's just not worth it. Okay, so we're at a bit of a crossroads here. So I can either go here, get some more money, and then go to a shop, or go straight to a shop. But we need to look at what do we get afterwards. So I can go to the shop and then go to an elite and go up through here. Either way, it looks like we're going to be doing some fights. And either way, I have the option of fighting an elite. So what I think I'll do is I'll take the fight here. Oh, wait, no. If I do this, I won't lose health on this fight. And it's a little bit safer. So let's just go straight to the shop. A little bit less money, but I still got 373. Like, I've got enough. See what we can get. Now that's a nice one for late game, because you run around on low health quite a lot in late game, unless you get some pretty lucky draws. Whenever you add a skill card to that, that's nice too. And that's nice, but again, these two dwarf it. This one just deals 3 damage every turn. This one, whenever you add a skill card to your deck, it's upgraded. And of course I have the option to remove a card, but right now I'm going to spend my money on other things. So I could get another Thunderclap, which I probably still will do. Just because it only applies 1 vulnerable, which means they're only vulnerable for that turn. If you use 2 of them in the same turn, then it stacks. So you end up having 2 vulnerable on them, meaning that they're vulnerable for this turn and next turn. So it works out. So, what am I getting? Toxic Egg or Meat on the Bone? Toxic Egg, I think, is traditionally just much better, even though that is super helpful. So let's get the Toxic Egg. And I will actually buy the second Thunderclap. And I'll also buy a Warcry. Warcry is interesting because it just replaces itself if you haven't upgraded it. But if you have upgraded it, then it replaces itself and then some. So whenever I get to a bonfire, I have a card which I really want to upgrade now. Let's go to the event, which might end up being a fight. It is not a fight. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to a forgotten spirit. Pray to remove a card from your deck or leave. I will remove a card. So my options are to remove the bash, because I have other better vulnerable cards. And I'm starting to build up some draw power. Oh yeah, of course. I was like, why is it upgraded? Because I just bought the skill egg. Of course. So my options are remove a defend or remove a bash. Let's take out a defend for now. And it's free, so it's not so bad. If you remove cards at the shop, they progressively get more expensive. So you kind of want to take the events whenever you can, pretty much. Okay, so Warcry is free. Put a card on top of the draw pile. It's going to be this bash because I just don't... I should have done the defend, really. No, never mind. Zap, zap, and kaplow. So, he took 8 damage. Well, having said that, the bash would have been better than the 2 thunderclaps, because it's only a single target. Oops. Okay, never mind. That embarrassing situation aside. Now this is a classic example of I'll do more damage if I do individual attacks rather than one big one. However, now that I have this here flex, I can do both, and he will be dead. There you go. Although, because of the vulnerable, probably didn't need to do the offering, but oh well. Math is hard. I make a lot of mistakes like that, by the way. Like, a lot. Like, if I sat there and just figured out the math every time, I'd be fine. Okay, so this is not a super ideal situation. That guy will stay asleep with 8 armor until I break his armor. This is not exactly ideal, because it means I don't come out of the gate fighting very strong. So if I just end my turn for now, he'll pretend to wake up, but then go back to sleep. Oh, this is a much better hand to start with. So I can do Warcry. What I can do here is just put Bash on top of the pile, use Flex, and then I can use Offering straight afterwards to draw it again. Now I can go, because I got 5 energy now, Thunderclap him, Bash him, and then do these 2 strikes, and now I'm in a much better position. I'm even going to throw Poison at him, so he's going to take an additional 6 damage. Poison is one of my favourite mechanics with the other character. Words are hard. So, Flex, always power up yourself first. Vulnerable, always vulnerable them next, and then you smack them up the face. Oof, down to 7 life in one go. Now, this may not be super worth it, but avoiding as much damage as possible by throwing the weak potion. At least because it was a high damage attack, it gets the most effect out of the potion. Now, he's dead regardless of what I do this turn, which is why I wasn't certain if the weak potion was worth it. But, no. Thunderbolt. Zeus that guy to death. 28 gold. Paper Frog. Enemies with vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50. Vulnerable creatures take 50% more damage from attacks. So, yeah, let's just say what vulnerable does. However, extra damage on vulnerable. There is one like that, except it makes vulnerable less effective on you. This one's the better one, in my opinion. And I get a block potion, which is nice. Feed is one of those ones I always and R over, because if you get it super early, then you can upgrade your health like a lot with it. However, if you get it like towards the end, even towards the end of the first floor, which we are at, it's not super worth it. This is too expensive for what it is. If something's going to cost more than 1 energy, bear in mind by default you only have 3. If it's going to cost more than 1, it needs to be stellar, and that's not great in my opinion. Without upgrading it, because you could say it's the damage of 2 strikes, but there are things in the game like Pommel Strike, which does 9 damage and draws a card, Wild Strike, which just does 12 damage. There are better cards for 1 energy, so you can't really compare against strikes. And that looks good on paper, but it is not. The idea being it's supposed to be like a slightly weaker strike and a defend in 1 card. It's not. It just takes up space in your deck. Again, in my experience. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who disagree with everything I'm saying, but you know what? For me, this works. Flex. Warcry. Not going to have enough for that this turn. So what I can do is go Kazap, and everyone dies. I forgot that the first vulnerable applied to the second one. Well, wasn't expecting that. Yes, best card in all of the Ironclad's deck. Perfected Strike. Best card, hands down. If I can upgrade that ASAP, that'd be great. However, unfortunately this time, can't really do that. Need to go back to full health to do the boss. Maybe not. Like, if you can blitz this guy fast enough, you don't need health, but it's safety first. Okay, let's grab some of this. Thunderclap him. Also, yeah, Perfected Strike's really good, but you need like a lot of cards with the word strike in their name, and I don't think I have any apart from itself and regular strikes, which is less good. Let's hit him there, and let's do 2 regular strikes. Now, It's a little sad because the ooze's shtick is every time you get it down to half health, it splits into two things that have however much remaining health the main one had. So, unfortunately, I was 5 damage off it splitting and not doing that damage, because that takes up its turn as well. Done that defense, I don't need it. And you could just see momentarily on the screen there, my strike did 16 damage instead of 8. And now they're both split into 51s, because that's how much they had at the beginning of the splitting process. It's vulnerable. Strike and use my last card, which is a block, and I may as well do that to avoid all damage. You might argue that you didn't get perfect value, but you know what? I'm happy just not taking damage. Especially because these fuckers make you draw less cards, so just being able to avoid damage as much as possible is always for the best. Okay, so now this guy's gonna do more damage, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not gonna take off, what was it, like 20 health in one hit? Like, not realistically 21 health. Actually, I could. Totally could. Yeah, to avoid the most damage, I'm just going to throw all of these at this guy. And hit that just puts him under threshold to split instead of attacking me. So I'll take less damage this turn. Generally speaking, you want to focus on one person. Changing targets is not usually a good idea. Usually. However, if you get the opportunity to just outright kill a big dude, then you might as well. As I say, there is exceptions, but generally speaking, you want to try and go with a kill them first strategy before they even have a chance to hit you. It's one of the reasons I don't like defensive strategies in this game, because they just don't work. I can kill one of them either way. That way, this is pen nib. So that's already doubled, which means I'll do 16 damage to both, and they die. Oh, they don't die. Damn it! God damn, my math is awful in this game. Of course, yeah, right, yeah, they don't do 16 damage because vulnerable doesn't double the damage. It gives 75% extra because of that. That's why they were left with 2 health. That makes sense. Doesn't matter. I win. Okay, and all of these also look really good. This one's like, you lose a health and draw a card. Oh, it's amazing. You can do that every turn. It's free. Yeah, it's not that good. Because in the late stages, that chipping away at your health, yeah, it mounts up. Especially when you're considering there are cards out there which allow you to pay health and draw more. And this just gives you an extra card per every turn. This costs all of your energy for one turn. Not worth it. Upgrading it doesn't make the cost go down. And that's not worth it, because it just takes up clutter in your deck. Because you're more than likely going to draw it at the same time as something you don't want to use it with. Other trading card games which allow you to hold your hand and then just like wait until you draw the perfect combination, those are fine with these sorts of effects. This game, not so much. I'm going to take Brutality, and I'm concerned I might regret that. Especially because powers in this game are traditionally quite slow. So, Tiny House. Obtain 1 potion, 30 gold, raise your max HP by 5, obtain 1 card, upgrade 1 random card. Elites now drop 2 relics when defeated. Or, gain energy at the start of each turn, you can no longer see intents. There is a butt ton of relics in this game which give you extra energy but also give you a negative effect. I believe this one is not worth it. However, it would be if I perfectly knew the attack patterns of every single monster in the game, because then you don't need to see intents and it's just free energy at that point. I think I'm going to play it a bit risky and go for the Black Star, because then all I need to do is fight 2 elites and I'm in massive amounts of net profit. Because I'm only on Act 2, that's actually entirely doable. You don't want to be fighting elites in Act 3. So let's have a look at this floor. Now, sadly, there's no safe elites anywhere. Not really. The safest one is here. However, there's also 2 other elites either side. But you know what? Fuck it. I also like to live dangerously. Let's do that. I shouldn't have done that. It was just a terrible, terrible plan. This guy's got 3 artifact. I haven't even got rid of his artifact. It's just, yep. Ugh, these guys just take a while. And the annoying thing is because they attack you for like 10 and 20 at a time. Always use flex first. Draw a couple of cards. Tell you what, let's dump a strike instead. Because then I can use offering. I can avoid all damage this turn. Then smack him with the perfected strike. As well as a regular one. And that way I don't have to use my potion either. Still frail though. I don't know what I think about abilities in this game always going off even if you don't go through armor. I've flip-flopped on it because on the one hand it doesn't make sense. On the other hand, it's kind of a balancing issue if you don't. So, like I said, I flip-flop on it a lot. 7, 8, 9. So next turn I'll be doing double damage with my first attack. Ow! See how much damage it just builds up? I should have used my block potion. Absolutely. So, 20 damage on that one, and he dies. Ooh, upgraded in flame. I will take that time. Absolutely should use my block potion. That was easily avoidable damage. Okay. Not a bad start. So I can do that, I can do that. I can do that, and that. You kind of want to kill these guys as soon as possible because they have a habit of filling your deck up with dazed cards and then they just eventually kill you because they start hitting super hard. Just walk right first. Let's get rid of this defend because using defend isn't going to help me all that much this round. Thunderclap. Perfected strike. Brutality. And I will use that this time. If I can do just 11 damage this turn, I can throw the fire potion at her. I gladly will. Oh, I can definitely do it. It's a shame that I can't do anything else, but there's no point in losing more health. I'll just do that. This is good if you get it like super early. Like where your deck isn't particularly clogged up. Same as that, really. But, yeah. Not at this stage of the game. Much rather just go for cards with the word strike in them. Downside is I'm not getting any. A gremlin madly shuffling cards on the table. This monster seems to be a harmless one. You approach him out of curiosity. 12 cards. Match them to keep them. 5 tries, no do-overs. Are you ready? Let's start. Okay, so it's a game of matchup. Don't want that. Good. Don't want that either. Don't want that. Don't care about that. Definitely don't want that. Okay. 2 more. Reaper. Good instincts. I can get a good instincts now if I want. And I already lose. Well, I didn't get anything. That's fine. I didn't want any of those cards anyway, so it's fine. Because, like, on the one hand, like, yay, I won cards. On the other hand, it's like, oh, wait, did I actually want those cards? I got 248. That should be enough for a relic. Oh, it totally is. Okay. Are they any good, though? First of all, none of those say strike. That makes me sad. In my pants. Gain 1 energy at the first turn of each combat. Whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max health. Heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. Highly underrated is the Regal Pillow, in my opinion. Most people I've seen say, no, don't bother buying it. Like, if you get it, it's fine, but don't bother buying it. I quite like it. Unfortunately, I can't afford 2. Having that just on the first turn is great, but I think for sustainability, I'm going to get that. Is there any cards I want to remove? Is it time to remove the bash? I'm going to leave it for now. Armaments is fine if you can get it upgraded. I have an egg which makes it upgrade. I'm buying it. Because that'll be automatically upgraded now. Yeah, there we go. Now, it's great because it gives you 5 block. That's not the important thing. It upgrades every card in your hand. And when you have a deck that hasn't had a chance to upgrade all that often, that's pretty nice. I also like to live dangerously. Let's go. If you get screwed by RNG in this one, this could end very badly. That's unfortunate. That one doesn't really matter. They're all basically the same health. Like, 1 or 2 health does matter sometimes, but not in this instance. Alright, geez, calm down. Oh. Nice little inflame there. Now, if I do this first, there's a chance I might draw that armaments. Still a chance I might draw armaments. Yeah! Dump that. Use that. More damage. Oh yeah, because I've got that triggered, so I can do 26 damage with one of those, 24 with one of those, plus more damage because they're vulnerable. I'll do 45 damage, so I can kill either one of those, but I can do it with strikes as well. This one's got more health. You have the opportunity, kill that. So I'm going to be taking 6 damage. I absolutely should use the defend. I'm going to take 1 because I got the armaments block, of course. Which is one of the good things about armaments. Once it's upgraded. When it's not upgraded, it's average. And you only ever need 1 as long as you keep your deck small. And he's out of there. Okay, I ended up with about the same amount of health. Yeah, these are all other cards which are good on paper, but in practice, not so much. If that was like Cleaving Strike, it'd be great. Like, there's a lot of cards which if they just happen to have the word strike in it, it'd be amazing, but they don't. So like, there's another one, it's Heavy Blade. If it was Heavy Strike, it'd be great. Otherwise, they're just expensive versions of better cards. Okay, I can just straight up take that guy out, which I'm going to because minions have a habit of creeping up on you in terms of damage. And then do damage to that guy and move on. Just move on with life. As long as you can keep the minions down in this fight, it's not too difficult. Doesn't actually matter. My last card of the turn. The main reason is, for this guy, he will constantly summon minions if you keep killing them. If not, he just hits you over and over and over. That's unfortunate. Draw a bunch of cards. I don't think I need to draw any more. So, flex. Big old thunderclap. Regular old thunderclap. Should have done those the other way around. But that's fine. Smack him. And let's use this upgraded defend as my last card. Ow! Okay. Bit more armaments. And that's the double damage kicking in. You can see, by standard, it's 54. Now it's 94 because of the vulnerable kicking in. So the pen in makes it 54, vulnerable kicks in, does 94 damage. Oh yes, they stack. That's why it's so good. Ooh, upgrade 2 attacks. Make one of them the Perfected Strike. Please make one of them the Perfected Strike. Damn it. Thunderclap though, I'll take it. And get rid of 2 curses. Pommel Strike. Important because it has strike in the name. And it's actually just a good card. Now, sadly, as much as I'd like to upgrade stuff, especially Pommel Strike, because if you upgrade Pommel Strike, it does 10 damage and draws 2 cards. It's amazing. Sadly, I do have to fight another elite right after this, so I need to take the heal. Unfortunately. Which does put me to full because of the Regal Pillar. So we're doing alright. And I am so glad I took the heal. Holy shit. These things hit like trucks if you haven't got weakness ability. Like anything to weaken them. It's like a fucking truck. Fortunately, right now, so do I. Ow. And like, it doesn't let up. It's now going to do 12 damage, and then it's going to do more, and more, and more. $12 damage in 2 cards. Wow, those are just all awful cards. See, I'm actively avoiding playing Bash. So that's actually covered all the damage I'm going to take. Let's just give him vulnerable for the next couple of turns. Could have done more damage that turn, but I think the vulnerable is more important. Okay, Brutality, Inflame, Warcry. See what we get. And dump the Bash again. Not going to do that again this turn. We'll do more Vulnerable and Pommel. I'm gonna take damage this turn. See what I mean? If I hadn't healed, I'd be dead right now. I might still die. Like, he's about to hit me for like over half my health, my current health. It's redonkulous. Now, I don't need to do Thunderclap this turn. So I can just do these strikes, which will do more damage overall. 21. Damn. So close. Because I can't kill him this turn, I might go for the defend. Just reduce some damage. Let's do that. Damn, so close. He'll still be vulnerable this time, which is why I didn't go for the Thunderclap. We're just doing strikes, which is just more damage, and now he's dead. And now my next attack is double damage. Ancient Tea Set. Whenever you enter a rest site, start next combat, 2 energy. Completely messed that up, but you got the message. Got the gist of it. Orichalcum, or Orichalcum, one of those, has been taught to me how I say that. For the while I was calling it Orichalcum. I'm an idiot. Poison, very useful on bosses, and an upgraded armament. Don't need another one. A second one just clutters your deck. So I'm actually going to skip that. And Blood Vial, not great, but it does, it's good if you hit the event for it. But yeah, otherwise it's not very good. So, heal, get a huge amount of heals. It's like an additional 15, so it's like 31 rather than 21. Sorry, 36 rather than 21. Something like that. Just, I hope it's not another Book of Stabbing. These guys also aren't great. If you can blitz down the guy at the back, then you should be fine. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that. Because the guy at the back, he starts by doing more damage, and then he does a thing called Entangle, which stops you from attacking. And that's like the most lethal thing anyone can do in this game. I could throw poison at him. Throw poison at that guy, so while I'm killing that guy's taking more damage. I can't kill either of them this turn. It's not exactly ideal, either way. Okay, flex. And he is dead. And he is working on it. Of course, I don't need to use block anymore because I have Orichalcum. Orichalcum gives you 6 block if you haven't got any at the end of the turn. So now using regular defense is useless to me. Upgraded ones, fine. Regular ones, nah. Okay. He won't die to that, so let's do that. That might help. And there we go. Nice. And that's the power of the offering card. At the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards, and regular enemies are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. That's better than you think it is. That sounds like, oh, right, well, there's a random chance it wouldn't happen anyway. In my experience, it's more likely to get a combat than it is to get a good event. And by a good event, I don't mean like a beneficial one. I mean one that's actually you want to see. So getting rid of combats is really good, because then it just means you have to deal with the meh events and the really nice ones. And I used to pick up Anger a lot, but Anger is only good if it's upgraded. These two, in my opinion, are just awful. This is a defend, which is better. Is if you have an ability to exhaust it, gives you energy. It's not good. And at the end of your turn, lose 1 HP and deal 4 damage to all enemies. It's alright if you have a lot of heal, which I don't, because there isn't a lot of heal in this game. Okay, so I'll go through this fight, and then depending on how much health I have, depends on where I go next turn. This is a very swing type enemy. Like, it can go very well or very poorly. Okay, I'm back after the crash. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Something on my computer crashed, and it took everything with it. It might have been Slay the Spire, it might have been my recording software, it might have been a million different things. I hate technology. Yeah, let's continue the run. Now, the reason why I brought us back to this screen to show the continued run was that it... Okay, they fixed this then. Because usually when it crashed, it would put you back into the map and then it would randomize the event again. So we're actually right back where we left off. That's good. That's a good fix. Okay, cool. So, what are we starting with? There's no point in doing armaments. Looks like it has actually dialed back the game state as well, which is pretty cool. Let's do Thunderclap. Now we do the regular strike first. Oh, never mind. Should have done the big one. Whoops. Moving on. I suppose there was a chance I could have drawn the offering if I'd just gone for it. I'm frazzled. It's been like an hour since I was last recording this game, and I've been trying to fix the footage I had before. I think I got it fixed. If you're seeing this now, clearly I did. There. So, the annoying thing about the Snecko is that it randomizes all of your shit. So, like, randomizes the cost for them. So sometimes it's good, because it makes some stuff like 0. Whereas sometimes it makes a strike cost 3. Perfected Strike was not touched, and he gets double damage now. So, kabam. And defend because it's free, and then schmackaroony on that guy. Shouldn't have done the defend. Keep forgetting. Orichalcum. Is it Orichalcum? Every time I hear it, I just hear, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Now I activate the Seal of Orichalcos!
That's all I hear. Brutality. Offering, which fortunately didn't make them cost any more. Thunderclap. Oh, it's Flex. Then there's Thunderclap. And then, most powerful thing I can do here would be... Actually, for once, the bash is worth it. And he dies. Again, I've seen most of these before. I think Uppercut's the only one that I haven't seen. It's good because it applies weak, but it's not worth. None of those are worth, really. What's that upgrade to? Doesn't matter. Not worth it. So, I've only got 30 health left. I would much rather go for the shop first. Because Snecko hits pretty hard. Wild Strike, nice. I was really hoping to see like a regen potion down here. Sadly, I didn't. Are you shitting me? Really? Oh, okay. Wait. I thought the game was about to crash again. I guess it didn't. Okay. So, upon pick up, upgrade to random skills. Not immensely worth it. I can afford this and that, so I'm probably going to. But strength potion might be better. Is there any cards I desperately want rid of? I suppose getting rid of Bash would be nice, but it's not really hurting anyone right now. I have enough draw power to draw past it. Definitely taking the Wild Strike because it upgrades the power of my Perfected Strikes. And what skills do I have that aren't upgraded? None, actually. All of my skills are upgraded. Apart from that one Flex and that one Offering. So basically, do I want to pay 155 to upgrade Flex and Offering? Honestly, at this point, I think I'd rather just get rid of something. Get rid of basic bitch defend. Hopefully this will be a free heal so I can upgrade at the bonfire. Nope. It's potential to receive a relic. Well, receive a relic and potential to become cursed. I got a relic without being cursed. Nice. That almost never comes up in my favor. Push open the coffin, the fog dissipates harmlessly inside. You find the mortal remains of a decorated soldier grasping an old relic. You pilfer it and move on. Art of War. If you do not play attacks during a turn, gain an extra energy next turn. Unlikely, good sir. Unlikely. Also, now just remembering, basically can only half remember my build because of the crash, but yeah, if I had gotten a curse, it wouldn't have been so bad. So yeah, it was totally worth doing. So I've got most of my health back, not all of it, and I've got an additional 2 energy going into this fight. Hopefully I'll get plenty of draw power, and I can just go nuclear on turn 1. Okay, that's some draw power. Let's dump Bash for this turn. Play that. Always do the weaker vulnerables first. Then doesn't matter which order I do these in, because it only puts me up to 8 on pen nib. For it is mightier than the sword. Okay, so I've got enough cards in this hand that haven't been upgraded to make this worth it. Let's do that. Let's do flex, and then start attacking the minions. Especially in this fight, you want to fight the minions first. Now, I don't get the extra armor from Orichalcum because I had armor then. So, technically, I'm taking more damage this turn if I hadn't taken it with that last turn. But it's fine. Okay, let's start with Offering, because really there's no reason not to. Flex. 58 damage. Let's just take that guy out. Like, you really do need to kill the minions first in this one. Like, you really super duper do. I can kill this without having to use Bash, so I'm going to. If I can avoid using Wild Strike, then I will, because I don't have anything which takes advantage of the fact that I have wounds in my deck. However, more damage is more damage, so there we go. Moving on. This guy is like a version of the Elite that I fought before. In so much as if you just keep killing him, he will keep summoning minions. Although he also does other stuff. Like this ability he's about to do is, it sucks. It's a bunch of weak and vulnerable. Right, so I can use the turn to upgrade some stuff before hitting him, but I don't really need to. Like, I actually get more damage out this way, and he retains vulnerable for a turn. So this is actually better. Yup, weak, vulnerable, and frail is the other one. Forgot about that. Usually he just hits you right after. He didn't this turn. Just guess he's buffing himself. Let's maintain the vulnerable as much as possible. Then we smack him with the wild strike just for the extra damage. And then a regular strike. Even though it's a strike plus, it's only doing like 9 damage because of the frail weakness. The weak. Frail reduces the amount of armor. It's like anti-dexterity in the same way that weak is anti-strength. Okay, there's no real point in doing armors this turn because the only thing I'd upgrade is that damage. Because flex already upgraded, of course. So flex, do that. In fact, you know what? Yeah, I will do that because it doesn't make a difference. Actually, does more damage that way around. Actually, does more damage. Also, because I've got frail, armors does even less damage. Whereas Orichalcum doesn't pay attention to how much dexterity you have, so you just get armor. It's much more worthwhile doing that. Now here's a shitty situation. I'm gonna die this turn if I don't kill at least these two and defend, unless I can kill him. Considering this is the situation with my pen nib, that's pretty unlikely. So what we're going to do is just go for him and hope for the best. Because he is vulnerable this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. So what can I do there? He's vulnerable, so that'd be like 10 damage-ish. Plus an additional 15, so like 25. Whereas that does like 32. Yep, I'm dead. I couldn't have even killed those. If I'd killed the minions, then I could have tanked that with Orichalcum, but there's no way I could have killed both of them. And that's the death. See, this is what I mean. Like, sometimes the game is just like, and you're dead now. Oh, shit. Not like this. Oh man, I'm getting flashbacks to the Matrix. And there's a bunch of points which nobody cares about. As I've already unlocked everything, there would be a progress bar there. Damn. Damn. Well, in spite of the crash in the middle, that was fun. But yeah, just shows how brutal this game is. That was the end of Act 2? It is so hard to even get to Act 3. Or was that Act 3? No, it was definitely Act 2, right? Yeah. Because that's not an Act 3 boss. It had to be Act 2. Point is, yeah, I guess we're done. I continue to play this in my off time whenever I can, learning more, and just waiting for updates, really. I really want this game to be better than it is, because it's very unbalanced right now. Like, now that I've played enough of the game, I know exactly how unbalanced it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of it, and I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep playing it, and I still, in spite of its crash potential, I don't regret playing it. So, I think that's where I'll leave it for now. Thank you guys very much for watching. You stay classy, internet, and I'll see you in the next video. Ha! Next video. Wait, what comes after 4?